Are you ready to target the right hiring managers? Or the secret job market strategy? Look, we need to stop playing Candyland with these hiring managers and start playing chess. I recently placed several senior to executive level creatives who never saw a job posting, never filled out that easy apply application, and had a very light LinkedIn profile. Meanwhile, I get calls every day from talented people who've applied to 200 plus jobs with 0 responses. They're playing in a completely different market. And today, I'm gonna pull back the curtain for how the hidden job market actually works. Hey, it's Mindy here, your favorite career insider. And if we're meeting for the first time, I've spent over 2 decades placing advertising and marketing professionals from entry level, talking junior designers, to ECDs at places like Team 1, 180 LA, media brands, Pom Wonderful, Orly, Munchkin, CBS, NBC, and really too many others to count. Before we dive in, if you've ever felt like you're sending applications into a black hole, drop a phone emoji in the comments. I want to know who needs this insider perspective most. First, let's understand why most job seekers are fishing in an overcrowded pond with barely any fish. Most people only see and target the visible job market. Understandable, they told you it works that way. But posted jobs, the listed ones, usually have already been filled or are on their way. Public, LinkedIn, we're hiring announcements, recruiter outreach for hard to fill roles. But here's what's actually happening behind the scenes in this hidden job market. Roles are being created specifically for people hiring managers already know and trust. Positions that get filled before they're even posted. Jobs that only exist because someone impressed the right person. Roles that were filled by someone that the team already had in mind. I've seen art directors land senior positions that never existed until they showed their portfolio to that right creative director. I've watched copywriters get hired because they built relationships with key decision makers long before a need arose. In fact, at senior levels in advertising, I would estimate that 60 to 70% of roles are filled through the hidden job market, never seeing a public posting. At executive levels, it's even higher. The problem isn't your resume or your portfolio. The problem is where you're looking. So who exactly are these hiring managers that can create positions, and how do you actually reach them? Hey, that's coming up next. Not all hiring managers are created equal. Look, in my experience, placing talent at agencies from Deutsch to Saatchi, there are 5 distinct types you need to identify. Type 1, the budget holder. They have final say on creating new positions. They can approve hires without committee approval, usually a department head or an executive. It could be an ECD at Chiat Day who hired an entire team after a business win. Or type 2, the team builder. They're actively growing their department. They have pain points your skills could solve, and they're looking for a specific expertise they lack. Example, a head of UX at Munchkin who needs specialized mobile experience. Type 3, the overwhelmed leader who is drowning in work. They cannot delegate. They are desperate for capable work, but too busy to search. They will create a role to solve their immediate pain points. Example, I had a CD at CBS who needed someone to handle content strategy. Type number 4, the impressed advocate. They don't have direct hiring authority, but they have influence with those who do. They have their ear. They will champion you if your work impresses them. Hey, I've had a senior copywriter who introduced talented juniors to the CD and got hired. The future planner. Not hiring right now, but planning team structure 3 months ahead. Hey, it can happen. They keep a mental list of people they'd like to bring on. I had a strategy director at Media Hub building a team for an upcoming product launch. They know it was coming. They had a list of names. I recently placed a senior art director at an agency that wasn't even hiring. How? She built a relationship with the ECD 6 months ago by sharing some of her spec work she'd done with one of their clients. When a new business opportunity came up, guess who got the first call? Yeah, not someone from a job board. Now, let's talk about how to identify the right hiring managers to target, because aiming at the wrong people is just as ineffective as sending applications into the world willy-nilly. Let's talk about circles, such as finding the inner circle. Dream roles. Identify 5 to 7 roles you would genuinely be interested in. Be specific to not just art director, but art director specializing in interactive experiences for entertainment brands. Ooh. The more specific you are, the more effective the targeting. Our second circle, dream companies. List 10 to 15 companies where you would truly thrive. Include agencies, in-house teams, relevant brands. I really want you to research their recent work, their clients, their growth areas, their product lines, and look for companies that are winning new business. Third circle, decision makers. Identify who actually hires for your target roles. Look 1 to 2 levels above your desired position. Research their background, recent project, and areas of interest. Find mutual connections. I know it's possible. For each potential hiring manager, assess. Are they active on LinkedIn? Critical for your visibility to them. Have they hired similar roles recently or advertised about it? Do they engage with industry content? Do they have authority to create positions theoretically? Is there a potential connection point? I've watched too many job seekers spend time pursuing people who never hire, don't have hiring authority, or are simply not engaged professionally online. So your goal here is to identify 50 actual probable decision makers who can hire you without committee approval or extensive process. But once you've identified these hiring managers, how do we actually get on their radar without seeming desperate? Let's talk about that next. Engagement strategy. Here is where most people just go wrong. They immediately send a connection request with a paragraph about looking for opportunities, or worse yet, just job. That's the online equivalent of walking up to a stranger at a party and immediately asking for a job. Uncomfortable? Yes. Instead, use what I call the slow burn visibility strategy. Phase 1, initial visibility, weeks 1 through 2. I need you to engage with their content. Specific, thoughtful comments only, please. Share relevant industry insights on topics they might care about. Join conversations they're already participating in. Your goal here is to make your name and face familiar without asking for a thing. Phase 2, value addition. Now, I want you to share insights related to their current projects or challenges. Offer resources that might help. Create content that showcases your experiences as they care about them, that are relatable. And the goal is to demonstrate your experience and your thinking. Got it? Phase 3, direct connections. Request a connection with a personalized note, referring specifically to specific interactions, thoughts. Ask for a brief conversation about a specific industry challenge, not a job, not a job. Share a recent case study or a project that you thought might be interesting to them because, again, relatable. Your goal is to establish a relationship based on mutual professional interest. The key is patience and authenticity. A copywriter that I placed at NBC spent 6 months building a relationship with the CD before any job opportunity emerged. I helped UX designers land roles with Google after they became known for thoughtful comments directly on that design director's post. You got it? So, quick poll here for everybody. What's your current approach to connecting with hiring managers? Drop a number in the comments. 1, cold outreach, just asking about job. 2, applying and hoping they see your application. 3, building relationships first. 4, waiting for that job post to appear. Now, let's talk about what actually gets you hired through the hidden job market. Demonstrating specific value to the right person at the right time. Let me talk about my targeted framework for this. Number 1, I need you to do some problem identification. I need you to research the manager's current challenges. What's on their plate? I want you to look at company press releases and recent work, study their LinkedIn posts and their comments for pain points. Try using AI tools to analyze their company's competitive landscape and identify likely priorities. For example, you may see a creative director at NXC constantly posting about needing freelancers with fresh approaches to experiential retail for CPG. All right, step 2, value preparation. We can create something specifically to address their challenge. It could be specific work, a case study, a thoughtful analysis. Tailor your portfolio to highlight relevant experiences. Make it easy to consume, 1 to 2 pages max if this is heavy on the writing. Step 3, low pressure sharing. I noticed you've been focused on X challenge. I thought this might be interesting. Hey, let's talk about some examples that I've seen work. Art directors who created spec campaigns for a client they knew someone who had just won. Copywriters who rewrote headlines for a recent Pom Wonderful campaign. UX designer who analyzed and improved a problematic user flow on a large car website. Strategist who compiled relevant consumer insight for a brief that solved an actual problem that the client had. This approach works regardless of your background. I mean, whether you studied philosophy, psychology, architecture, or have no degree at all. In fact, those with unconventional backgrounds often bring the freshest perspectives. Let's do a little wrap up here. The most valuable jobs rarely appear on job boards. They're created for people who've already demonstrated their value to the right decision maker. So remember, I really need you to target the people who can actually hire you. Build visibility before asking for anything. Lead with specific value tailored to their needs, their pain points. And be patient. Relationships before opportunities. You're going to work for a long time. Long-term thinking. The hiring landscape is constantly changing. Job descriptions are becoming more specific. Teams more specialized. So are you flexing accordingly? Or are you still sending the same generic applications to posted jobs and wondering why you're not getting any traction? If this was helpful, do me a favor. Like this video, subscribe to that channel, and hit the notification bell for more insider job search strategies. I've created a hidden job market toolkit with templates for identifying target hiring managers and crafting value-first approaches. Download it free at www.insidejobagency.com. And if you need more personalized guidance on navigating the hidden job market, check out my one-on-one coaching options at insidejobagency.com. Drop a comment below with your biggest challenge reaching hiring managers. I read every comment, and hey, I might address yours in an upcoming video. Until next time, this is Mindy Worrell reminding you that in advertising, it's not about applying to the jobs. It's about becoming the person, the clear solution hiring managers already want to hire.